Welcome back to another episode of Run Yogi Diaries. This is your host, Santosh Shiva. If you're new to the channel, please do remember to subscribe. If you like this conversation, hit like and leave your comments below and let us know what you think. In the house today, excited to have a friend and a co-runner in our running group, Harshal Patil. And we've been running together for over 5 years now as a part of Mystic Milers. And it's been fascinating to see his journey evolve from someone who was struggling to run 4-5 miles to this year having done multiple marathons and a 50K. His journey has been inspiring and definitely a lot of opportunity to learn. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Let's dig in. Hey Harshal, welcome to Run Yogi Diaries.
Hi Santosh, yeah, nice. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's been been a while since we've been trying to get you on the show.
Yeah.
So you're finally here. So I'll probably take a stab at introducing a bit about what I know, who you are, and then if I miss something, add it, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So Harshal, from what I know, you work as a technical. You're a IT guy. You work for a leading company here locally in Houston. Originally from Pune, right? Married
From Mumbai, yeah.
From Mumbai. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know I thought you were from Pune. Married, 2 kids. Just the new one just arrived a few months ago.
Yeah.
Right. And what else? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Like, born and brought up in Mumbai and just moved to Houston like around 20 years ago.
20 years ago?
Yeah.
You were in Houston for 20 years?
Yeah, almost.
Wow. Oh, that's news. I didn't know that. I thought you were pretty new to Houston. Good. So good to have you. We've been running together for about 5 years now, and I found your journey very fascinating and inspiring. I think a lot of your folks who are listening to this will learn a lot from how you and you're in the middle of the journey. It's not like it's not over, or it's not you've not reached your peak yet, right? You're in your journey, but you've conquered certain aspects of running, which I think will be useful for a lot of people who are starting themselves, right? So maybe what we'll do is we'll first start off with a flashback, right? Bit about your background, and have you been an active person before, and what got you to a point where you started having to run? So give us a sense of take us back a little bit.
Yeah, so in terms of like running journey, it started around 2019, but just wanted to give you a little background before that. So with the job, it's like not completely IT. It's more into electrical and those kind of things. So for that, I had to travel quite a lot internationally as well as locally here. And due to that, I think most of the time some of the work used to be going on little late, and of course the travel was overseas, so all the time difference and things like that. Just getting the work started when we arrived there kind of led to things which were kind of not in sync with the body rhythm, I would say. And then because of that, I think the health aspect was it was nothing too bad, but I could feel the difference like when I was more younger than that, and little later what I used to experience, plus the jet lag and all those things added up to it. So
So were you an active individual when you were young? I mean, like growing up in college and stuff?
Yeah, in the school I used to participate in sports and used to play cricket most of the time. No, I did not do running at all when I was back in India. So running was something that I did only when I used to do sometimes when I was in Houston, but other thing I used to do sometimes I used to go to hikes. Here as well as when I used to travel overseas. So that was a good thing. So at least on Sundays I used to find some time for myself, go in the group, meet some new people, because we were just like I was being outside Houston area for like a month at stretch. So it's better to make new friends. So that was some hiking part
What's
of
going on, right.
And then
before we proceed, so basically what you're saying is and that happens to everybody, right? You finish your study, you start work life, and in your case you were traveling a lot outside from Houston. You started your career here. Okay, so you were mostly traveling outside of Houston, and a lot of unhealthy habits right caught up with you. How many years were you doing that?
I would say so, maybe around 7-8 years, I guess. Right after like my masters that I did here. So so up until like
so what were you doing? Partying and staying late, drinking a lot? What were you doing? Tell us about that.
There was some more than, I would say, drinking. It was more actually the work was also pretty hectic in terms of so we had to go do work at some sites, and then the schedule was 24 hours. Like some of the work used to go around 24 hours, and I used to go like a little bit later in the evening, things like that. So sleep schedule was also kind of getting messed up.
So how many hours were you sleeping those days?
I would say like maybe around 5 to 6 hours. Sometimes. When it
sometimes.
Was, when it was like due to jet lag, I think that sleep schedule was all over the place. Because if you travel, like just 3-4 days are gone in the.
So what kind of places were you going to?
So it was mostly going to South Korea, and then sometimes in Asian countries like Norway, and also a couple of times to other countries like Poland and UK. But most of the travel used to be in South Korea. So people there like they like to meet together, get together, and have some kind of when they hit some kind of a milestone in work. It is always a party to celebrate things, and. So yeah, definitely, and the food was very rich. So they have this special type kind of barbecue that they call bulgogi. So those kind of meat, they are pretty heavy, like to digest as well. So I mean that was overall I would say just habit and not getting exercise, I guess, to just cover up for all the food that we were eating.
You're having a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
Having a good time.
Yeah, and actually in the process made good friends there as well.
Nice. So, and then at what point, so you were doing this for 7-8 years, and I know you joined our running group back in 2019. So prior to that, had you already started your running, or was some kind of fitness, or what?
Yeah, so I used to I did not used to run much, but I was for folks who are from Houston area, closer to the Memorial Park. So I used to go there from my house and my apartment, and used to do like 3K or just a loop around the Memorial. So that was about it. Sometimes little bit of biking, but nothing like too serious. Just when I used to have time, used to go out with my wife, and that pretty much that was it.
So that was how many years before this you started running with us?
I think it was 2016, or not 2016, maybe before that, 2015 or something.
Okay, so about 4 years you were doing some kind of
some kind of. Not, it was not up to the par that will offset all the eating habits that I had.
Okay, so what got you to a point where you said, hey, I got to do something about it? Was there a aha moment? What made you do that?
Yeah, actually, I would say the more than anything, something special. I think it was just getting to know that there is a group here which is closer to my area, because.
So that was 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
But then you were already active before that.
Yeah.
Right?
It was, I think maybe just I had some time.
Oh, okay.
For myself. So and just going to park because I have a park close by.
Okay.
So that was the whole thing. But.
So it was not like something like there was no trigger per se.
No, there was no specific trigger.
But something must have been bothering you that you leading all this. I mean, something is telling you at that point that you're not sleeping enough, you're overeating.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as compared to like college days when I used to have same habits and then the same thing is going to continue.
Yeah.
Little bit like you can feel the energy level little bit less, but it was not too drastic that caused anything. Okay, I have to now do something. And start either running or doing some kind of physical activity. It was not. It was not.
There was nothing dramatic.
That point, yeah.
Nothing dramatic.
Luckily, I did not reach that point.
Yeah, and you're not very old, right? You're not even 40, right?
No.
So interesting. So it was more of a you just like the outdoors and you started going out and stuff like that, and then you joined our group, and I've seen you kind of evolve in a big way from the time you started in 2019. So tell us about that, right? How did you start building? Was it again organic, or you had some goal in mind and that's why you went about that?
Yeah, I would say there was no goal, and what we are going to discuss next. There was no goal of that sort to start with. I think the good thing, and thanks to you, that the Mystic Miler group started. It was closer to where we live, and then I think it's also good to connect to new people with the same liking. So that was the whole point. And in the beginning, I think I used to do 5K at the max before joining the Mystic Miler group, and slowly I see people like running quite a bit. So I made it to the point that at least I could do like 4 to 5 miles on a weekend. Nothing then I used to run one time a week, but that was about it. And then I remember in 2019, there is this tradition with the group, I would say, is going to the Houston half. I did not sign up for half because it was just like doing 10K. But at that point, 10K also felt a little challenging. So I don't know, maybe just because maybe I was not ready for that. But I think the 10K kind of gave a little bit of confidence on that. Like, okay, I can do little. There is this much distance. So 2019, that thing happened in October, and then.
So before you proceed, right? So you signed up for this 10K, and I know you were running mostly only on the weekends, and you went to about 4 or 5 miles. And so was there anything that motivated you to sign up for a 10K, or was it, are you that kind of a person who just says, "ठीक है, चलो करते हैं, देखेंगे क्या होता है"?
Yeah, I think the second part, and plus the people in the group were signing up for half.
Mob psychology.
Yeah, mob psychology. At least I did not commit for half at that point, but I said, okay, let's do 10K.
Okay.
That should be a good start, because it's just like 1 mile more than whatever long I used to do. So I think
How was that experience, the first 10K?
The first 10K, so the train runs that we used to do was mostly a little flat. The only thing is there were underpasses, so little bit up and down. I was not used to it, but I would say it was okay. But then it still felt like okay. I did like 10K, and it was not so, I would say, smooth. It was because of the
mile hills.
Mile hills. So I think, but overall the experience was not bad. Weather was good, luckily. So that was a good experience. Plus, like good company from people. And the first time experience of like how it feels to go to a running event. So I think that was good.
That's amazing. And then then what happened? So you did the 10K, and did you sign up for something after immediately, or?
So I did not sign up immediately after that, but I again so because of the close proximity to our area, like I signed up for the Woodlands half. So that was in 2020.
March.
2020 March, and so still like travel was going on. I kind of did some travel right maybe a week before the Houston half. So the training was I would not say like I did like a major change in my training, but at least I made to a point that I would do like at least 2 10-milers. That was it. But then again, like 2020 came and just the COVID-19 started.
Yeah.
So we were not sure, like, okay, if this thing is going to happen or not. But luckily, at least Woodlands half was done. So a little bit experience about like the Woodlands half. So I said, like, I was traveling a week before that, and so still I think there was some jet lag and some. I would not say the preparation was to its par. But I think I did it good. I felt good until like 8-9 miles, and I think the last 5 miles were kind of slight drag. I could feel like okay, maybe better preparation and runners like just going past me. But at the end, like it was. I think I did complete my first half in 2 hours 36 minutes.
Okay.
So around 12 mile per minute pace. So that was like good experience. At least I completed it. So and then after that, I think the COVID started.
Yeah.
So I would say COVID is kind of was a good turning point for me.
Okay.
Because there was no like going outside for at least in April. I did not. I just stayed home most of the time. But then slowly, like, I mean, as there were nobody on the street most of the time, I think it will be better just to go out. And the best thing about during COVID time for runners was, like, if you just start running on one side, and even if there is a person approaching you, they would either stop or they would like just maintain a distance. So I think it was the safest thing. There are not a lot of cars on the road.
Yeah.
I think the experience for running during COVID time was, I would say, really good.
Yeah. It's fascinating, right? Something good came out of COVID. Is one thing. Is a lot of, I hear that from a lot of people, right? Because they were cooped up at home, they wanted to get out, and so a lot of people kind of either increase their running. Because I've heard some of my guests who've come in the podcast before have said this trained for 100-miler races during COVID, right? Yeah. Because there was time in hand. Yeah. I even launched this podcast during COVID, so there was a lot of time in hand.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So you did so you started running more during COVID, right? Okay.
So I would say around like after May of 2020, the mileage kind of kept on increasing. I do not run a lot, but overall during some of the months, like I did hit like 150 miles. That was the peak. But overall, I kind of that I think that was the maximum I normally have ran. That was a couple of months in 2020, and I remember for just Mystic Mile we had our own half.
Yeah.
So that was the first time to test the training. I would say, like, I used to do run more than 13 miles sometimes on my longer runs, but I would feel the difference of the training that made after the Woodlands half and the half marathon, even though it was virtual, like just running in the same place where I used to do my training runs. So it kind of drastically reduced the timing for it. I think it went around like 2:15 or something like that, or 2 hours 15 minutes to finish the whole half. So that kind of was a good.
So you're feeling better. You're feeling good.
Yeah, feeling good, and also like some of the, I would say like some of the weight that I had gained. It was it kind of went down.
Yeah.
So that was I think that was because of the training, of the run, and plus I mean we did not have the option to eat outside.
and it's visible, right? I think from the time I think you started with Mystic Milers back in 2019 to now, you lost quite a bit of weight, right?
Almost I would say in just kg, I would say I did lose 10 kg.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's almost 20 pounds, right?
20 pounds. And,
16 pounds, yeah.
I have gained a little bit after that, but but yeah, that was kind of the the lowest. I mean the maximum. Sorry, I have lost. So that it was visible in that sense.
What about so as you were running this 150, you hit 150 miles and all that. Were you feeling achy? Was there anything that you were dealing with physically?
Yeah, physically there was used to be some pain in the mostly the muscles in the legs were not that developed. Even though I did run the Woodlands half, I think the training was not up to the par. But there were like some days where there were pain in the leg. But I think recovery time was good because anyways we did not go anywhere.
Right.
So I when I did those longer runs, I used to get the pain, but it was not something that is bothering. Like I think it's kind of natural. Used to stay for a couple of days,
right?
And then it went away. So nothing that was bothering.
Nothing stopped you.
Yeah.
And you seem to have kind of you did the 236 half and then you did 215 the just following year.
Yeah.
So did you intentionally push, or it was kind of again organically you were just getting faster?
I think it was organically getting faster, and maybe the food choices mostly because everything was, I guess, homemade. Thanks to my wife for making the food. But yeah, I think it's just the practice, I would say.
Okay, so it's just organically you're getting faster.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good call out, right? Because a lot of people want to run faster, right? And there is a tendency, especially among new runners, who may be personality-wise very competitive. Otherwise, they want to start running, and they look at all these people who are doing amazing PRs, and they say, "Oh, I want to run faster." And then you find people artificially pushing, right? And they get injured, right? Either the body is not ready to take that load, whether it could ankles or it could be knees or it could be neck, and then they stop running after that. So I think it's an important point to call out, right, from learning from your own journey is that you gradually increase volume. It was very organic. You're not breaking your head about, oh my God, I got to go do it faster, but you just got fitter and faster at a very natural pace.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's an important takeaway for those of people who are listening to this.
Consistency is really important, and I think if you commit to something, definitely, I think you will reach a point at least where you can organically achieve certain goal. But maybe if you're too aggressive in your goals, maybe you have to push a little bit more. But I think for just get it in the flow and get it to a point that okay, this makes you comfortable at least, and then do certain extra things to become more faster, I guess, and then or more healthier. And I think it's not only for running. I think people who bike or do similar sports, I think it's very common. I would say path.
Yes.
Some people are kind of naturally made like that, but and they will pick it up faster. To reduce their timings in any sports or anything. Yeah.
Good. So you did the virtual half, and then I know we've had this conversation about your full, and you were kind of watching from the from the stand, right, and saying, I don't know. And your first full was in 2021, right? The Dallas one. Yeah. And that you did virtually.
Yeah, I did virtually. I was on the fence for that one as well. Saw same thing, like I saw people like you and Srini and a couple other folks signing up for the full on 50K. I think you did 50K in that. So I was like, okay, these guys are kind of doing full or maybe 50K. I don't know if I'm comfortable just moving from 13 to 26.2.
Right.
But I think the mileage was getting better. So I think at certain points I used to do like 18, 19 miles, like the longer distance run.
Right. So
there was kind of little bit of like fear, I would say, just to do if I can do 26.2 or not. But I think the group motivation was good, and also I chose it to do virtually because I think at that time maybe there was a reason I might have to travel, but so that was I moved it to virtual. But that was 2021. That was the first.
And you did that in the you did that on the spring.
Spring trails.
Spring trails, right? So how was that? How was doing 26? First of all, see, that it's very fascinating, right? Your first 26.2 is not like a traditional race.
Yeah.
So you're running alone, right? You did it by yourself.
Yeah.
Typically the first marathon. So we'll come to that. So how was it doing 26.2 all by yourself?
Yeah, I think one of the reason I felt comfortable doing it myself because all my runs during COVID, most of them, I know we used to do some kind of group runs here and there, but the longer distance runs were mostly done by my own. I think that's one good thing, and not only for like running this first virtual full marathon by myself, but it helps in any kind of longer runs. Like if you do the full marathon in person also, because at the end of the day, I think you are there, even if you're surrounded by people, you're on your own. Like it's your willpower to complete the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the individual run, completing the whatever training I had thought that day, was helping me, and so it kind of helped me with my running on my own to do the whole 26
Makes sense, yeah.
So and there like on the trail that I used to run, at least there were some other people who used to run, not the complete 26.2, but in patches I used to see runners running some distance. So I used to like sometimes go with them a little bit for some distance.
Right.
Did not tell them what I'm doing, running for the full marathon or not. But I think that doing the train runs on my own most of the time helped me to do the
26.2.
Yeah, 26.2.
How much did you finish that at?
So that was around 4:35, I think.
Okay,
4:35.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's no external motivation.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of double click a little bit on this, right? Because knowing you, and I guess people listening to this may not know about you. You're a very quiet guy, mostly, right? Except for your cryptic humor that comes online. But otherwise, you're a pretty quiet guy. You come, to the group runs. You mostly disappear after you run, and also your journey has been very organic. There's been no, hoo-ha about it. Now, I know when we had this conversation about, and when I used to see you run, right? You have a good form. You have a natural form for running. You don't. Somebody looks at you running doesn't feel like you're struggling or anything like that. It's a very natural, smooth style. And so I felt that you were ready for a full, right? And that's how I kind of kept nudging you. So that conversation that we had, even then, it was not like you said, yeah, I'll do it. I say, you're like, okay, I'll think about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So give us a sense of what did you have to reset in your mind from a mental perspective to take that challenge on?
Yeah, I think from that perspective, like after we had that conversation, then I kind of tried couple of more longer runs before I made a commitment. Okay, I think maybe if I remember correctly, back in 2021. So the Dallas full marathon was in December, and I believe we kind of had this conversation during our runs in Burroughs Park in around September, I guess. So I said, okay, let's try a couple of longer runs. How do I feel? And the other thing is, like I wanted to mention was during these longer runs, at least I tried something because I was not getting, I guess, fueling myself properly.
Okay.
So maybe that made kind of little bit difference. I started fueling. Started using gels.
Okay.
That I thought are good for me.
And that helped?
That helped. Like I would see the difference quickly. Like I did not used to get tired quickly as much as like without any gels or without. I used to carry water during my runs, or at least I used to make a point that even if I do not carry water with me, I used to park a car so that I can run like maybe 8 miles one side, come back, drink water, and go the other side. But eating the gels or adding it to my run schedule.
So you do gels once in what, 4 miles?
I do like so if it is not too hot, then around 5 miles.
About 5 miles.
Sometimes if it is too cold, like I just.
So that was a game changer.
Yeah.
Right. So I think let's call that out, right? I think I see that's a great point because I don't think a lot of people think about that consciously.
Yeah.
Right? The nutrition part.
Yeah.
One is the longer runs, but as you go beyond a certain distance, you do need to fuel yourself.
Yeah.
So important point. I guess people are listening to this can.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, fueling helps quite a lot. Like especially in longer runs, I don't think we can just make it
Right.
only with. I mean, people can. I'm not saying people should use gels.
Yeah.
They can use something else. People have some very sensitive stomach. They can do something on their own at home that they
Right,
feel comfortable
right.
carrying with them as well as eating them. But definitely, I don't think we, in general, can make it to the whole 26
Without
without
any
eating
food,
anything.
yeah.
Eating anything which is high carb. So yeah, that was
a game changer.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
That's
Then I kind of did use some gels, change some of them, but overall, like I did not have any issues during the runs after eating gel. So that luckily that part was good. Like, but okay. So coming back to the training runs, so those training runs before committing for doing the full with the gels, with some I used to just drink Gatorade, nothing any salt, water or anything was added. But I think not getting tired doing longer runs made me feel okay. I think
You
we
can already.
yeah, we kind of make the leap.
But I think also, Harshal, what is important is see, for someone like you who is, and a lot of people who are listening to this are very similar to you in terms of approaching this. It's not like, see, some people are like, okay, let's do it. Let's see what happens. If, we'll see. We'll figure it out. But you are a little bit more systematic. You're not going to commit to something until you're sure that you can do it, right? It's not like you don't jump in just like that. And a lot of folks are like that, which is fine. But at the same time, I think you were open. It was not like, forget about it, I don't think I can do it, right? You didn't shut that possibility.
No.
You, so that part, so is that your nature? Like you say, okay, fine, somebody's telling me I can do it, I'll try it. Or what switches off in your mind?
Yeah, I think if I feel confidence by doing certain activities before committing to certain thing, like in this case doing the full marathon, that's like has been approach for non-running stuff as well. So I think that's my natural tendency.
Yeah.
just be a little comfortable before committing to.
That part I get. Yeah. So tell me what appealed to you about doing the full marathon. Why did you say yes? Other than the fact that you trained for it, that's fine. But you first said yes.
Yeah.
Then went about trying to run longer to see if you can. So what about the full marathon appealed to you?
I think it's just like getting some kind of a different feeling, and also it's just like I've read it recently, but very few people, or this was being told while I was running the Chevron marathon, Houston marathon, like only 1% of people run full marathon.
Yeah, but that you didn't know then. Right?
That I did not know then.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do not see a lot of people running full at least. Maybe the number of people who are running the marathon have increased quite a lot, but back then I think it was maybe getting some different feeling. I would say
some new experience.
Yeah, new experience. Yeah.
And what was your wife feeling about that?
Yeah, she, as I've said, like about like her helping with the food and everything, but she's cooperative and still is very cooperative with the running part. Like I mean, like she did not say okay, just hold back, and all the time she has said okay, if you like it, just
go for it.
Yeah, do it. So that support was really good, and
okay, got it. All right, so that's amazing. I think that was a turning point, right? From and after you did that virtual full, I think nobody had to tell you to sign up. Then you were signing up by yourself.
Then I just immediately signed up for the Woodlands full, and
that was just about 3 months later. Right, yeah.
So I did not change much into my training, but but that was a good experience, like running with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
No, that was a real one. That was real race, right?
Yeah. And unfortunately, it was too hot that day.
Okay.
So I would say I kind of I was also still between 435 to 440. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
So I did better, but I think it would have been more better if it was just like good weather. I personally like running slightly in cooler weather.
Yeah.
As compared to, I guess it's
ideal temperatures, I guess, up to 50, 55.
Yeah, 50, 55. Yeah. And if during and cloudy, the sun does not hit me directly, so that's kind of ideal for running. But that did not turn out to be the case during Woodlands full in 2022. I think a lot of people suffered that day due to the heat. But that was first good in-person experience that I had now back in.
Any beginners lessons in that race?
Beginner's lesson is I would say I mean the fueling part was good, but I think one thing I would say this course is not too hilly, but I think the place I was running kind of maybe I was a little flatter than this. But that was the only thing. Like I think it's the same experience as I had in 10K, like doing runs on little flatter side and then going a little bit up and down during the whole. Because I think these people make it little difficult for everyone.
It has to be challenging, right? Okay.
But great. Yeah, there was no lessons. I think the biggest lesson learned in the whole thing is just fueling, and it was not learned luckily like during the race, but before that. So
that's a good point. Good point. And what about so as you were increasing your runs and scale? I know you said you had some pains and all that you were dealing with. So by this time, you also had some kind of a strategy to recover and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, just like take some days off. Other thing is I kind of do not run a lot during my training runs. Also the maximum I run is 20, but my weekly mileage I think hardly crosses 25. Doesn't mean that everybody should stick to that. It's very less, but if you see a lot of people who run marathon will try to achieve at least like 40-50 miles a week. I have not been running, and the one thing I kind of still do not do, and this is something I have to include in my training, is strength training.
Okay.
This is something I kind of put it on the back burner a lot of times, but maybe that will make some difference from what I have been doing in my runs.
Yeah.
I think ideally we should do like strength running in the days when we are not running, but that makes a difference.
Yeah.
But the pains, luckily until now, nothing has been bothering me.
Okay.
Just like pains which after any long runs, some blisters and things like that. But nothing that is going to stopping me for weeks and weeks after the long runs.
Yeah. Cool. So now fast forward, that was like 2022.
Yeah.
And then 2023 was another milestone year for you. You did a few marathons, like 2-3 marathons, and you also did a 50K.
Yeah.
Right? So that was like a complete taking you to the next level.
Yeah. Before that, I just signed up for another one in 2022, the BCS marathon. So that was also a good experience. But then immediately after that, I think that bug started to sign up for more. So I did sign up for I did like 2 full and 50K in 2023.
Yeah.
So it was good. And 2023 the marathon that I did, Boulder marathon. I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Same thing, like it's nothing compared to whatever I guess we train here. It's not going to help much when you are running at altitude plus elevation. So almost like by end of the whole thing, like there were places where it was just like going steep hill, and I don't think we have good enough places to do that. Plus having less oxygen with the altitude. So that I kind of said I think I struggled a little bit in that because first is like I think the altitude part was kind of a little different because I just went a day before and the altitude is not too bad, like it's not like I'm going in mountains like
what is the altitude there?
It's around 6,000 feet, but like more than what we have in Houston area. But just doing like I have been to that area before, but it was just like walking, nothing endurance stuff that I did, or it was hiking, but not to a point that I have to run. That kind of makes you made me struggle a little bit, and I think that was I think we have to just check. I think
but you finished it.
I finished it. I finished it. It was about 5 hours, but I could see myself not to a point. And plus the other thing I just realized about that race was also I think it started little. I did not see too many people in the full, but they started like little bit late as well. Maybe that kind of also contributed to little bit of struggle part towards it.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the journey, right? I mean, in the sense that you're never going to have any race that's the same, and that's the fun part of it too, right? As long as you were able to finish it.
Yeah.
But did you struggle a lot in the sense were you kind of cursing, saying why am I even here?
So after I kind of did not feel that way all the way, but after 20 miles, I think it was to the point.
You were like wondering what are you doing there?
That kind of that was a feeling.
But were you feeling uncomfortable physically because if you're not used to running at with that level of oxygen, do you have to cut down the pace?
I had to cut down the pace. I had to like walk a little bit, especially on the elevations. I could not just run, just maintain.
That's not bad. I mean, considering that we live on a zero the sea level. For you to go and complete it and 5 hours is not bad, right? Considering that's just 30 minutes loss of what you typically do. Which is pretty good.
Yeah, it was good, but not the best experience. But I think, as you mentioned, it's fun. Like if you keep on running in the same place, I think you won't experience what others do.
You have. I hear you, and I think I read somewhere that running in I keep reading that. And that's how I justify or convince myself to run in the sweat and heat of Houston. That the training effect of running in sweat and heat is kind of simulates the lack of oxygen running. I mean, I don't know how much of this is tested and proven, but there is a theory out there. If you can look up Google, if you're running in hot and sauna place kind of Houston, you tend to have some advantage too.
Maybe it helped a bit, but not all the way. Not all the way.
I heard Boulder Marathon is also very beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It is. So first of all, it is in October, so it's fall time. I saw a lot of fall colors. Plus, you see the mountains while running. So overall, it was very beautiful. Nice. Running through all the roads and seeing all the beautiful nature beside you all the time. Plus, I think the roads were also not very. It was going outside of the city. Boulder is not that comparatively bigger city, but the roads were kind of quiet. So I think you would see the mountains pretty easily, and it was very sunny. So everything was very clear.
So how did you choose Boulder? I mean.
Yeah, the reason for choosing Boulder was just because that was my birthday. So and there was no plan for doing this Boulder full. I think the only thing I had signed up at that point was 50K, but I just saw it was falling on the same day, my birthday. So I thought, let's suffer a little bit on the birthday and also accomplish something.
We runners are crazy people, right?
Yeah. So that was
nice.
Yeah.
So that is one of your impulsive decisions.
Yeah, that was.
So now you become a real marathoner. Now you do things on impulse. So that's when you've now you're at a marathoner. Like you like it, you see it, you just sign up. So did family go with you as well for Boulder?
No, not for this one, just because my wife was not able to travel.
Right.
But actually, I was looking into Chicago as well, because that was also on 8th of October, and but that was too late.
Yeah.
I think they had lottery, which just was over by 2020.
But it's a nice choice. I think Boulder would be something that I would want to do too.
Yeah.
So
it's a good thing. Like I think just a little bit of preparation for at least the elevation we can do here.
Yeah. True. Great, and I think that kind of set you up for doing the 50K that we did last year too, right? Yeah. And how was that for you?
Yeah, 50K experience is pretty different. First of all, because 50K was not on the road, it was trail. So I think trail running is again really different from what we do on the road. Actually, the good thing about trail running was got to explore with the group new trails within the area, which I initially thought maybe there are not many, but there are various good trails from Woodlands until Spring, where you can just run like half marathon one day. Right. So that was good. Actually, trail running is different. Plus, I think you have to make some be prepared that you won't be running at the same speed as what you're going to run on the road. So that's first thing. Second thing is I think you have to be slightly careful then when we run on the road, because the routes and animals, mostly I guess the route part.
Routes, especially in Houston area, a lot of routes. So
that I think that was really good. Like I kind of enjoy trail running.
Nice.
And not you cannot see a lot of people I think ahead and behind you in general, like during the actual trail race as well. So that's kind of another thing, maybe made it more comfortable, because most of the runs I do it's on my own. But that was one good thing about signing up for this 50K is to do that trail runs, exploring new places than what I've been running, and then the second thing is getting ready for even though it's 4 mile more than the full, it's still again that mental barrier. I have to do 50K. So that was if I can go directly to the race, it was really good. Weather was cooperative that day, but I see people taking the time, so it's not like in a hurry. So first of all, there is a time limit, but it is not as aggressive as city limit, because you do not have to stop the traffic and things like that. So that part I liked. Like people are just relaxing, doing things on their own. People are there won't be a lot of people cheering for you in the middle of the trail, but once you come to the start point or the points where people can cheer you, they are very encouraging. And plus I think the people who support you, in this case it was all Mystic Milers. Good to see them after a certain frequency. So that whole experience was good.
And you did well. I mean, your pace was good. Considering you were running trails for the first time. I mean, rather, I know you were training in trails, but this was the first race. And it was a little different from the Houston trails, Austin area trails.
They are a little hilly. But I made it.
I mean, you did pretty well.
So I think that was good, and plus in that same race, as I said, weather was good, so I made a good impact. Congratulations on that. Thanks.
Great job.
So that's first one. Hopefully, there will be more.
Of course. Now you're on. You're an impulsive. You sign up impulsively, because I don't think things like this, right? Are ever going to be logical, right? I don't think any one of us needs to run 50K or half full marathons to. It's just one of those things. You feel good, and then once you know that you can do it, you just keep doing it, right? So I'm sure that you will continue to push your envelope now that you've tasted blood. And then you did the Houston full recently, Chevron as well. And so what happened there? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, overall Houston course is pretty flat. So I was expecting that I would do a little better than what I have done previously, but not sure. Maybe I think it was a little cooler, chilly in the morning, and maybe I kind of felt a little better in the beginning, but maybe after a certain time, I would say I just maintained the same pace what I do in my regular runs, and was not able to pick up the pace. But the experience in Chevron Marathon is really good. Like, I think from all the marathons that I've run until now,
Right.
that it's like through and through the whole time people are cheering. I don't know what the experience was it in Dallas, but this I think this is very lively.
Yeah,
People
it's
should do
I think probably your first mainstream marathon, right? In the sense, big city mainstream marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think big city mainstream marathons are very festive, and Houston one definitely is.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Actually, another one before that was Austin. Austin.
Oh yeah, Austin too. That was hilly. That's
Austin is
hilly.
hilly. Yeah, but the thing is, like, my timing there and in Houston were same.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
So I just checked, but I don't know. There must have been a different reason, which I'm not aware of. But yeah, Austin was kind of big city. There were a lot of people, but I think personally it was more lively here. not in the beginning at the end where it normally is, but also throughout the course.
Yeah, and we're from Houston, so we'll be nicer to Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. So in the matter of just 2 years, you seem to have. It is almost like a switch that flipped, right? And then you're like really on. You're running faster for sure. Your pace is getting better, and I guess so. What next?
Yeah, I think next is maybe try more marathon just to see if I can do better than my previous run times, and also wanted to see if I can do more trail runs, and maybe I would stick to 50K for now,
right?
Until I get more comfortable doing little longer.
That's your style.
Yeah.
Do a few more 50Ks and suddenly Harshal is doing 50 milers, 100 milers. Nice.
So hopefully I would maybe do 50 milers someday, but let's see.
Yeah, well, that's that is amazing. So it's almost become like a lifestyle for you now, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do run 3 times a week. So if I miss one of the days, it's kind of, I try to make it to a point that at least I do 3 times in a whole week. Yeah. So it's kind of habit. Yeah.
No, that's great. That's a great journey. I think, it's just summarizing in terms of how you've grown. That again, it's I probably keep reiterating this. It's just that one switch, that one time, leap of faith, and say, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. And then of course, putting the work behind it, right? So some people have leap of faith, but they don't put the work behind it. That doesn't work, right? You have to go out there, train, do those long runs, and one is the physical health. What about your experience with mental health and just stress and management and all that? Is running helping you there as well?
Yeah, I think focus. Doing runs longer runs need some more focus. That has helped in the normal day-to-day activities. So I would say focus part has increased more as compared to the running part. But another thing I wanted to touch is I know it's kind of a trigger at certain point, but running with the whole group, even though I'm saying I do most of my runs on my own, but being part of a group, like for example, part of Mystic Mother for now, that kind of also help. Like you see people doing same thing, same activity, and encouraging to do running or some other physical activity. That kind of is also important. I think you just need that part, and plus support from family as well. But
true. Awesome. So have you signed up anything for the future?
Not until now. I haven't signed up for anything, but let's see. I'll keep on looking.
Yeah.
If I find something, I will definitely sign up. One different kind of thing, and let's see how it pans out. Trying to do the relay race.
Yeah. That's coming up in
Yeah,
March.
it's coming up in March, so let's
Right.
see how it goes. That's
That's on the
maybe a different
Yeah.
thing, because I think in that part you're not the only one running
Yeah.
on your own.
Yeah.
You take break and you have to cheer other
Yeah.
as well as get cheered. So that will be a different experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So looking forward for it. That's what I've signed up, but nothing
Nothing else, yeah.
full marathon.
Good. Awesome. Great. Hey, that was good. I think we covered a fair bit of ground in terms of your journey. I think we covered in terms of how it started, the mental aspect of it, the physical benefits of it. So thanks for sharing that, Harshal. I do hope that people listening to this can take away some tips and some inspiration. I'm going to the last part of our conversation, which and by the way, thanks for also being a supporter of the podcast. It's always good, and glad that you are here on the podcast as well. The last part is the first Q&A round, and I know you listen to all the podcasts, so you probably, I hope you not come very prepared, but let's do it anyway, right? Okay, well, let's.
Unless you change the paper, question paper now.
Well, some of the questions are going to stay the same, because I think some of the listeners want to listen to the same questions with the same different
Answer.
guests, right? All right. My first question, which is probably what you know, but I'll ask it anyway. Your favorite junk food?
Yeah, junk food for me is chips.
Chips? What kind of
Potato
chips?
Like any potato Lays or anything like. I eat them a lot. Like if you give me a full bag, I
Finish it.
Yeah, finish it probably in one go. So that's the junk food.
So have you become? Has your diet changed a lot since you started running? Otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, not much. Like the consumption wise, it's the same. I think that I was saying in the beginning. I think the way I was eating was I did not have anything to offset with, and now I have found this activity to do that. So nothing majorly has changed in terms of eating. Yeah.
Okay.
But still I eat chips. I
like chips. And what's your favorite pre-race food?
Pre-race food, normally I just eat dates.
Dates?
I eat like at least 4 or 5 of them. And typically I just drink coffee with a full cup of milk.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's interesting. So how did you get this dates ideas?
I think before I started doing the gels, I think that's when I was eating dates.
Okay.
But I mean, eating dates, I felt like I was not helping through the whole course.
Mm.
So at least in the beginning, I just eat that.
Right. Okay. Okay, so next one is what's your favorite way to spend a lazy day when you're not running?
Doing some gardening work.
Right.
Yeah, it's still not lazy, I would say, but
less physical, I guess.
yeah.
So do you have a big garden?
It's a decent size, not
Okay.
as big, but I try to do something in my backyard.
Okay, nice. Do you listen to music when you run?
I do not listen to music, I listen to podcasts.
Podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Run Yogi is one of them, and there are a few others which I do listen to.
Any other podcasts that you recommend?
Uh,
Other than Run Yogi Diaries, okay?
there is one like set the pace.
Set the pace.
So I think it started recently, and mostly it's for the New York road runners.
Okay.
So I think it started 1 month before the New York marathon. So most of the time in the beginning they were just talking about the preparation and
Okay.
the whole journey for the marathon, and after that they did invite folks from the race. But yeah, that's one thing. about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. All right. Is there a bucket list race for you?
Bucket list race is, I would say, if I can run in Alaska.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't checked anything, but I think that would be another beautiful
Yeah.
race.
Anchorage has a race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that will be good. To be honest, I haven't been like I think I should try this, but travel and then for longer time and then do the race. So maybe that might have some impact on the race. I don't know, but for now, whatever races I've done, like at least Boulder one was the one which was outside. But I wanted to see if I can travel. Yeah.
All right. The last question, which probably you know, and let's see what you have. If you made a movie of your life so far, what genre would you put it in, and who would you hire to play your role?
I think it would be something related to sports.
Okay.
Not necessarily running, but anything sports. Maybe I will hire, I don't know, the Akshay Kumar.
Akshay Kumar?
Yeah.
Are you a fan of his?
Yeah, I mean his movies are good.
Okay.
Like I think a lot of times he will do something which is real life biopic kind of thing. The recent ones, not the ones initially.
Yeah. Akshay Kumar, there's a script coming your way. He's expensive, by the way. He's supposed to be the highest paid actor. So you better have a good producer to back your movie up. Awesome. Good. So, hey, that was a good conversation. Learned a few more things about you in the fun Q&A. Kind of coming to a wrap up here. And I want to give you a last word. Any final message for the audience?
Yeah, I think just to sum up, I think consistently doing the one thing that you choose is really a key, and plus community support and family support, which I thank my wife for helping all the time, and I think that will make things come together. Even though it won't be like in let's say 5 or 6 months, it might take some time, but I think it will eventually fall in place.
Awesome. Great message. Thanks, Harshal, for sharing your time and your journey. I love the conversation. I hope people are listening to this also did. I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and we'll continue running. Thank you.